What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a brand new breaking football news story, and we will talk about Manchester City and whether they will get a big points deduction or even relegated to non-league football or to the League 1 or League 2, the 4th or 3rd division of English football, and also get a big fine because the Premier League is gearing up towards a very big and very harsh Manchester City verdict in my opinion, and I have this feeling that this is why they are punishing like smaller clubs like Everton. They already got a 10-point deduction, and now Everton and Nottingham Forest, according to David Ornstein, who is reporting on this, and according to Sky Sports and many other news outlets, Everton and Nottingham Forest are expected to be punished and get a points deduction over breaches of Premier League's profitability and sustainability regulations. So they had to hand in the accounts for last season, and why the Premier League is fast tracking this and doing this much quicker as they did it before is they want to avoid a lot of lawsuits, because previously clubs got relegated while other clubs stayed up, like Everton, when Everton breached the financial fair play rules and regulations, and also how Everton breached the profit and sustainability rules. You know, Leeds United and Leicester City got relegated by just finishing a few points behind Everton. And how the Premier League wants to do this now is they want to fast track this and hand out the punishments during the season in which these clubs were in breach of the rules, and not wait 2, 3, 4 years while football has moved on very quickly. Clubs will learn today apparently whether they have fallen foul of the Premier League's financial rules on the new guidelines introduced to ensure any basic breaches are dealt with in time for punishments to be handed out in the same season as a charge is brought. Under the league's profit and sustainability rules, clubs are only allowed to lose a maximum of £105 million or £35 million per season over a rolling 3-year reporting cycle. So this is what Everton and Nottingham Forest are in breach of, and you might wonder why is Man City not being punished. Manchester City's case is a lot more complex, of course. They are in breach of not just one rule but 115 financial fair play rules, because clubs who get relegated, they could have a very strong legal case because of the Premier League's delay in punishing the clubs who actually are in breach of these profit and sustainability rules. And I have a feeling that the Premier League wants to get these like easy wins out of the way, and they want to punish these clubs, these smaller clubs, so they have precedent and they can point to these cases and these punishments when inevitably Manchester City will challenge the Premier League's big verdict against them, which will come hopefully pretty soon in the future, hopefully this season or at the start of next season. And Man City should get a massive punishment. And I mean, if Everton get 15-20 points deducted for just breaching 2 rules, how many points should Man City get deducted for breaching 115 financial fair play rules? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What kind of punishments should Man City get? Because obviously Manchester City's lawyers will point to the lack of punishment to other clubs and take advantage of that situation. The Premier League has been sleeping on financial fair play rules for too long, for too many years, and they are now in overdrive mode, if you like, just to nail Manchester City and just to try put these serious cases to bed, and then they will go after the big dogs like Manchester City and Chelsea. Of course, have almost unlimited amount of money, so the Premier League has to have an absolutely airtight case which can't be attacked by the incredibly skilled Manchester City lawyers. But of course, until the Premier League is handing out a punishment to Manchester City or even Chelsea, who spent £1 billion in just 1 year, it doesn't look great, and the Premier League's image is tarnished in my opinion. And I will be honest, I'm a Liverpool fan, but if I was an Everton fan or a Nottingham Forest fan, I would be absolutely livid that the Premier League are going after them, these small clubs, for these like less serious but still serious profit and sustainability rule breaches, while Man City are allowed to dominate the Premier League and get away with financial doping for like 10 years or something like that, and the Premier League is appearing to throw a blind eye to what Chelsea are doing, what Manchester City are doing. I mean, how can Todd Bowley, the new Chelsea owner, spend £1 billion in like free transfer windows, and the Premier League not be instantly opening an investigation into Chelsea as well? That's beyond me. And yes, Chelsea sold a lot of players to try to comply with financial fair play rules. They also signed a lot of players on 8 or 9 year contracts to actually like get around this amortization system. And the Man City case takes so much time because there are so many charges against them. And yes, the Nottingham Forest and Everton case is much simpler because there are like 1 or 2 charges against these clubs which can be dealt with quickly and effectively, and these will be precedents for the other cases. But until the Premier League punishes Man City very severely, then their integrity is called into question, because the Premier League doesn't look great coming out of this when they are punishing small clubs but ignoring what Man City and Chelsea have done. And Adam Crafton, a very good journalist with a good reputation, said that there is something unsustainable for the credibility of the Premier League about cases like the Everton and Nottingham Forest case coming around and being resolved far quicker like this than those impacting Manchester City. The process, of course, must come before the optics, but it doesn't look great. It's a damaging look, according to Adam Crafton, and there is no way around this. The Man City case will take a long time to resolve. It will take ages for multiple reasons, some of which are entirely correct, but it doesn't mean there isn't a general perception around the Premier League lacking credibility when it hands out medals, like gold medals, to an institution it slapped 115 charges against. And that's what I don't understand. Like, how can the Premier League allow Man City to compete in the league and to actually dominate the Premier League? They are on the verge of winning their 6th Premier League title in 7 seasons. That's utter and complete domination. It's pretty much a one-team league, the Premier League, except if it wasn't for Liverpool in the last few years, there wouldn't have been any title races. And also, we have to take it into account that the Manchester City lawyers have taken every single opportunity to delay the case and to try and obstruct the investigation, and they weren't cooperating at all with the investigation. And if that doesn't show you that Man City are guilty beyond any doubt, then I don't know what you need. I mean, even the common football fan can realize that what Man City have been doing is not right, and it's not fair to the other clubs as well, because how they got rich and how they spent their money, especially in the first 5 years when they bought every single big player that they could get their hands on, and even if they were flops, they could just kick them out of the squad and write off that 50 million and buy another player for 50 million. And they just kept doing it until they found enough talented players that they could have a successful, good squad with, qualify for the Champions League, and then they got the best manager, one of the best managers in the world, Pep Guardiola. They gave him pretty much an unlimited transfer budget. And the reason why Man City always dominate the second half of the Premier League season is that they can rotate their team, they can rotate their squad without losing any quality. They have 2 or 3 world-class players in every position, plus a few really talented young players as well. Fair play to the Man City Academy for that. There is another theory that some Premier League fans are saying, that nothing will happen to Manchester City until Pep Guardiola leaves the club, because it would be too damaging for the brand of the Premier League, because Pep Guardiola and Man City are such a big brand. They are one of the flagship clubs of the Premier League, that it would damage the league and the credibility of the league so much. But I think Man City should get equal punishment to what Rangers of Scotland or Juventus got lot for the financial fair play rules to have any credibility. If you don't relegate Manchester City and if you don't strip them of some of their titles, but I think even just relegation to the 4th division or 3rd division or even to the non-league football would be enough in my eyes to restore some credibility to financial fair play and also to the credibility of the Premier League. Otherwise, the Premier League is just a joke, because if you don't enforce your rules, then the rules don't matter and anybody can just break them if they have a lot of money and good lawyers. And what I think should happen is they should at least punish Manchester City even during the case, hand them a big points deduction so they can feel some of the effects of that, and then you can give a full harsher punishment when the whole investigation is carried through. And just a reminder, Manchester City was already found guilty by UEFA of breaching financial fair play rules, and the only reason why Manchester City didn't get banned from the Champions League for 2 years was because the crimes happened too long ago. There was a statute of limitations, basically they were time barred because it happened more than 5 years ago. They got off and scot-free pretty much. Man City got a small fine, which is like a slap on the wrist for them. It's not a serious punishment because Man City have pretty much a whole country and one of the richest countries in the world, the United Arab Emirates, bankrolling them, funding them. And this is very, very frustrating for many Premier League fans, because other clubs like Everton, Nottingham Forest are getting punished while Manchester City just sail along into the sunset without a care in the world. All those are charges, 115 financial fair play rule charges, and no sign of an outcome. Very convenient for them. And they already won the quadruple last season, or sorry, they won the treble last season. They were banging on their chest, saying we are the best club in the world, we are the greatest club in the world, while being charged with 115 financial fair play rule breaches. It's like an Olympian doping and then being charged with doping, and then still he is able and allowed to compete in the Olympics, and he's winning the gold medal in every race that he competes in, and he's celebrating, drinking the champagne while he's still being charged of of doping. That's the equivalent of what Man City are doing. So let me know what do you think about this Manchester City case, and I will keep you guys updated if there are any developments, because I want Man City to get punished, because they absolutely shouldn't get away with this at all, and I think they should hand their titles that they won by cheating back to the second place team in the Premier League or in the Champions League final or any cup competitions that they won in this time. And Man City will always have an asterisk next to their titles and trophies won in the last like 15 years. That's my honest opinion, and I think a lot of football fans feel like this. But let me know, how do you think in the comments below, and thanks for watching guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.